We should get started. We will be joined by another panellist, Mohammed Ibrahim Shirek, at some point, but he's been delayed unfortunately, so he will come and join us, and hopefully we'll be here in time to deliver this talk as seamlessly as if he'd been here all along. So we're going to get going. So good evening, and a really warm welcome to Somali Week 2016. It's always a great pleasure to welcome you here. And it's really wonderful to see the festival grow year on year. Some of you may be aware that this year marks the 10th Somali Week Festival in London. So 10 years of Somali Week Festival is pretty good going. The first two were under Oxford House, the last 8 have been independent and run by the Cade Somali Arts and Culture. Of course, all of that is down to the huge hard work of Ayan, her volunteers, and everybody. Without them, this would absolutely not be happening. So we need to thank them every time we have a meeting like this. Tonight, though, I'm delighted to have Professor Ali Jamali, Nadifa Mohammed, hopefully soon Mohammed Shirek, and Kuman Jibril to discuss Somali Nemo in the 21st century. I'm sure it's going to be a really interesting conversation all around. There'll be some talks and then we'll have some time for discussion later, but I'll talk more about that in just a moment. Afterwards, we have a very special treat just across the lobby outside this lecture theatre. Armanta and his band will be playing, so please don't leave in too much of a hurry because there'll be some good music afterwards to catch up with. And tomorrow, this is kind of like, tonight is the first in a mini-series, because tonight we're at UCL with Professor Jamali and with the other panelists. Tomorrow night, Professor Jamali will be talking to us in discussion in a second panel event at SOAS. In fact, it'll take the form of two parts of a panel discussion. The first part will be with Professor Jamali. The second part will be covering multiculturalism and multiculturalism post-Brexit. So that also should be a really interesting discussion. Also tomorrow at Oxford House, the traditional home of Somali Week Festival, there will be events happening with Somaliland's Minister of Environment, Shukri Haji Ismail, and a book launch on Musa Galal with Saeed Salah and others. So please, there's plenty to see. There's no reason to stay home tomorrow night either. Now, I said thank you was due to all the people that have been involved in organising this, and of course, there is no way that Somali Week would have been able to grow in the way it has over the past 10 years without the support of some very generous sponsors. And I must thank, in the most heartfelt way possible, a list of people that have been contributing, many of them for many or all of the years that Somali Week Festival has been running. That includes the Arts Council England, Dahab Shield, Kilfinnan Trust, the Faro Foundation, Red Sea Cultural Foundation, who organised the Hargeisa Book Fair and our soulmates, I guess, in an institutional sense in Hargeisa. Also Team Hargeisa, Poetry Translation Centre, SOAS, the Somali communities, including Magan taxis and businesses in the Somali communities like Oasis Care and Training, Oscar, also Tower Hamlets Council, partners in Bristol, the Canary Wharf Group, and of course, for this event, UCL and the Grand Challengers, without whom we would not have been able to hold this evening's event here in this room. So thank you to all of our sponsors, partners and friends. Special thanks also due to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, the UK SEO, for helping to support our artists to travel here and in supporting us for the last 5 years, both for Hargeisa Book Fair and for Somali Week. Now, this evening, what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, Professor Ali Jamali Ahmed is going to speak, and he's going to be followed by each of the panelists. And hopefully, as I said, we will have been joined by Mohammed before the end of that. So, Professor Jamali, followed by Nadifa, Kuman, and Mohammed. And then there will be some time for questions and discussion. So there should be plenty of opportunity to think about and ask the questions you've got. And if Mohammed doesn't arrive, we might just play the video behind us, but we'll see what happens there. So excuse us if I have to jump up and down and organise volume and so on, but in the meantime, we're going to get on with the panel discussion. So I'd like to invite Professor Jamali first to say a few words to give his talk.
Thank you, Michael. with you, and I second, in fact, a young colleagues for this wonderful, really, project. Now, the question of Somali Nemo, as you know, is an expansive sort of really term. But let me start with a caveat. I have, for the last 30 years, problematized this concept of Somali for the last 30 years. And my intention really was not, and is not, to destroy the concept itself. I am not a nihilist by nature, but rather mine has